Hi, welcome to the Strictly Salina show. I'm your host, Greg Stevens, for Salina Media Connection. And today we have a special guest, Kathy Tolbert, who is Assistant Director at Rolling Hills Zoo. Welcome, Kathy, to the show.
Greg.
Yep. So you've been around Rolling Hills for a while, haven't you?
I have. Actually, this is my 25th year at Rolling Hills Zoo.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been around longer than the zoo has been open.
So you know a lot of history.
I do. What I can still remember.
Oh. Well, you can probably do a better job remembering than I can here because my hair's grayer.
Yeah.
But so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the history and some of the events coming up. This year is the 20th anniversary of the zoo. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we've kind of been celebrating all year long. We have done specials each month. We've kind of our gallery show currently in the Earl Bain Gallery of the Wildlife Museum is a walk down memory lane of how the zoo came to be. You know, Charlie Walker's role in all of that. The construction phase of not only the zoo but the museum and the things that we've done since then. So it's been a real fun experience for people to walk down that memory lane and remember when, or maybe learn for the first time, how the zoo came to be. We get asked that a lot. How did a zoo come to be out here in the middle of Kansas pasture? And so we've been able to tell that story this summer.
Real quickly, how did it come to be?
Well, Charlie Walker was a local businessman, and he purchased a section of ground out in western Salina County, and at that time built a big barn, had Belgian horses, had a lot of Belgian horses at one time. And for those that know Charlie, he liked to do things pretty well, and he would invite the school kids to come out and enjoy the horses, learn about the horses, but what they found out was after you've seen one or two Belgian horses, they all begin to look the same. And so he decided to spice up that tour, and he added some, I don't even know what the very first animals were, but some black bears, a zebra, llamas, lioness, and the kids just gravitated towards those. And of course, Charlie loved all animals, and he really enjoyed those exotic animals. And so that collection just continued to grow and grow until about 1990. And Bob Brown at that time was working for Charlie, and they just kind of got their heads together and said, I think Salina needs a zoo. We were doing a lot of school group tours, a lot of family reunions, a lot of, at that time, motor coach tours. So had the people coming in already, we just needed a place other than the main barn to let them enjoy the animals.
Do you still have Belgian horses?
The ranch actually does have a few horses left, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the other animals, or do you have any new animals that are
Well, we do,
on?
and it kind of all rolls in really nicely with our 20th anniversary celebration. We actually had 3 tiger cubs born August 14th, and the big question has been, when do we get to see them? And the answer is when Mama decides it's time. They're doing really well at this point, but they're still pretty tiny, and they have to reach an age where they can follow Mama out into the yard and then back into their night holding area before we can let them out. And also, Mama has to be comfortable with them being out in the yard. And she's a very careful Mama, and she kind of wants to keep them close where she can keep an eye on them. So she'll tell us when it's time, but we're hoping later this fall.
Okay, so I was going to ask you how long do you think that'll be? So.
Yeah, the guidelines say around 3 months. Which would put it into November. So we'll see what Mama Andrea says about that.
What other animals are you expecting to showcase for all of us here in Salina?
Well, for those that have been to the zoo and are familiar with the zoo, we've had mandrills since we opened the zoo for years. We have phased our mandrills out, and we are remodeling that exhibit, and we will be bringing in black and white colobus monkeys, which are a very active, very flashy looking primate. So they will be a fun addition. And we do hope to have those on exhibit in time for our 20th anniversary celebration, which will occur on October 26th, which is actually, we opened on October 26th of 1999. So fun stuff planned for that day.
So tell us a little bit about some of the things you got planned for that day.
Well, we are going to roll back our prices to our 1999 prices, which is $8 for adults, $7 for seniors, and $5 for children ages 3 to 12. We're going to have some great bounce houses for the kids to play on. We'll do some face painting. We're going to do a free hot dog lunch for the first 1,000 people that come through. The first 250 families that come in the gate are going to receive a fun reusable grocery tote bag. We're going to give away prizes every hour. We're going to give away some grand prizes at the end of the day that will include a package of 20th anniversary memorabilia. We're going to do an annual membership as a grand prize, and we'll also do an experience with an animal painting, an animal painting experience where the winner can come out and work with one of our keepers to do, I don't know if you've seen our animal paintings or not, but a lot of our animals do some really incredible painting. So it'll be a fun experience for
So the
winner.
animals are doing the paintings.
The animals are doing
So
the
how do
painting.
they do that?
Well, it depends
Or
on
what
the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the animals. We have a number of animals who paint. Some of them, it is a matter of they use their lips and they are creating pieces on a canvas. Some of them, such as our female chimpanzee, she actually uses a brush. The keepers will hold up 2 different colors of paint. She picks which color she wants to do, and then they hold the canvas outside the mesh. They're not ever inside with them. They hold the canvas outside. Millie has the paintbrush, and she's painting her masterpiece. What it actually does is allows the keeper that one-on-one time with these animals. It reinforces some of their training behaviors. It's just great opportunity for the keepers to kind of get a good chance to observe the animal, make sure everything is healthy and doing well.
So are these animals aware that they're painting, or can they see colors? Or
That's a good question. The chimps, I'm sure can. I'm not sure about all of them. I doubt that some of them, like the snake, sometimes it's just a press of the paint on the snake to get that shed or that imprint. But they do know it's time with their keeper, and it's good quality time with them.
yeah, how many animals do you have out there now?
We have about 112 species,
Wow.
just under 300 individual specimens.
So Salina's really fortunate to have a location like Rolling Hills. Where does this zoo stand in comparison to other zoos around the country?
Well, even though we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, and to us that's quite a milestone, but in the zoo world, we're pretty young still. When you think about the zoos that started back in the 1800s and early 1900s, Rolling Hills is still relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
Size-wise, we do have a lot of land. We are 65 acres, where many of the city zoos are, or zoos that you might find in a city, are kind of landlocked. We're also very unique in the fact that we are completely privately funded. We receive no tax dollars, which is very unique in the zoo world. Most zoos and communities are receiving city tax dollars, county tax dollars, and in some instances state tax dollars to be funded. So we rely solely on our admission, on donations, on grants to keep our gates open and keep the animals happy.
And I think I noticed on your website that you're accredited through, or you belong to 3 different associations.
We are accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That is our accrediting organization. And to be a part of that, we have to be accredited every 5 years, which is a great question because our accreditation comes up next year in 2020. It's it's an intense, long process. There's they look at our finances, they look at animal husbandry and veterinary care, of course. They look at our education programs, they look at our safety for staff, for guests, for animals. It's quite a lengthy process. We fill out the application and we'll send that in the spring, and then we will have a team that comes out and inspects our zoo in the summer, and then we will find out in September whether we are accredited again or not.
Yeah, I know as a faculty member out at K-State, going through the accreditation process is, like you say,
it's rigorous.
And there's some value to it because it holds you up to a standard.
It does.
So what other kinds of events do you have that are coming up?
That are coming up, we have Cookies with Santa will be happening in December. And that is just a fun time. We do 4 sessions of children getting to come out. They decorate a cookie. There's a story time. They make a craft that kind of ties into the story time. And of course, they get to sit on Santa's lap, have their picture taken, and tell Santa all about what they want for Christmas this year. So that's always a really popular event. We've always done 3 sessions in past years. We've just this year added the 4th session because it's been so popular that we have turned people away. So,
yeah. So, Kathy, you've been out there 20, 25 years. I'm sure there's a lot more that you could say about Rolling Hills. What keeps you passionate about the place?
You know, that's a good question. It's a great, it's a great place to work just because, I love animals. So that alone is part of it. It's been fun to watch it over the years, how it's evolved. I don't have one answer.
As assistant director, what do you foresee the future of Rolling Hills?
We talk about that from time to time. Where do we see ourselves in 20 years? And I hopefully see myself well retired in 20 years. But, I do hope that we are still going strong, still, providing great educational messages for our guests and for the kids that come out for camps and all of the other educational programming that we do. The animal collection will change in 20 years. We will lose animals and we will bring new animals in. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds, but it's been a fast 20 years, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly the next 20 goes.
It's one of the major attractions for the community and for the region, for that matter.
Yeah, we draw in about 80 to 85,000 guests a year, and it's interesting. Of those 85,000 guests, we draw from all over the country. We draw from all over the state of Kansas, and of course, our local community. So we have a large membership base with about 1,400 households right now that are members of the zoo, and they are not all just from Salina. We have a few members from out of state, but they have a tie back to Salina so that they come through often enough that they become members so that they can stop and visit. And we just do we have a lot of fun things with our membership.
What does membership, what are the advantages of membership?
Well, a membership for a family, they can buy a family membership for $105, and they can come out as many times as they want in that year.
Wow.
That we do a great members picnic every fall. We just actually held a few weeks ago, and they get some discounts on some programming, for some of the educational programs with the kiddos. They get discounts on that. So it's just a great way for them to be involved and enjoy the zoo as often as they want. Sometimes parents that have little kids don't want to spend hours at a zoo. But if they've got this membership, they can bring their little ones out for an hour and not feel like they've wasted it.
Right, and they can return several times and see something different each time. Your 20th anniversary day.
October 26th, come on out and help us celebrate. It's going to be fun. Anniversary cupcakes for everyone. So.
Yep, I'm here with Kathy Tolbert, and we're talking about the Rolling Hills Zoo. It's a place to take your family or go out as an individual and enjoy the animals and the location. It's a great place. Anything else you want to add here?
No, just thanks for having me here today.
Yep, thank you very much.
All right.